Hello, I am Dhatri Parmar, and today's my topic of presentation is Man or Manufacture, redefining humanities through biopunk narratives. The concept of biopunk has emerged as a compelling subgenre of scientific fiction in the 1980s period, and it challenges the narratives and how the humans are made, and the idea of the engineering, bioengineering. The literary and cinematic works such as 1984, Ex Machina, Blade Runner, and The Creator redefining humanity. And this also raises the question of ethical implication of technology in the human lives and its advancement. And the question which arises is that how it depicts and explore the blurring distinction between what is human and what is artificial intelligence, and how there is an ethical implication in there, or is there any consciousness, is there any personhood in artificial intelligence? That is the question is raised by that. So first of all, what is cyberpunk? Cyberpunk emerged in early 1980s as a postmodern genre, and it represents the virtual reality where the computers and the surveillance and all would there. And in that case, the biopunk has emerged within this genre. And biopunk includes biohackers, biotech, and mega corporation and oppressive government. And it also based on the DNA idea. It also explored the darker side of the bioengineering. If we define biopunk, then with the project Genome Project by the Francis S. Collins, during the 1990s to 2003, he researched upon the human DNA. And through that human DNA, he tried to give this summary about how the human DNA works. He defined the DNA, like how the human behavior is shaped. With this project, there is the emergence of a biopunk genre. It talks about the liquid modernity in the postmodern time. There, we cannot define the modernity. In that case, the behavior of human, everything is very fluid, like a water. So we cannot define anything particular. And if we talk about the key themes, then it talks about human enhancement, bioengineering, and corporate control among the society. And this also challenges the narrative that how can we define human in this case? This translation to cyberpunk to biopunk is, moreover, cyberpunk is based upon the computer and corporate world. On the other hand, biopunk is focusing upon the development of bioengineering, and through this, how the artificial intelligence get the consciousness and the human-like emotions. And through this, Kim argues in his article that this raises the question, this blurs the boundaries that how a human can behave or humanity can behave. If we're talking about particularly, then it is a critical dystopia, and it talks about the darker future. And there is not a prediction like how the artificial intelligence would be with the humans in the future world. And that raises the question, ethical question of how we'll define the humanity. First, take a look at the 1984. It is the reading that there is a possibility. It seems that Newspeak showed how controlling language and information shapes the reality. Humans, from the very beginning, if we look at the evolution, then whatever is not needed in human body, it automatically disappear by the time. And here in the 1984, Newspeak does the same. It is controlling the human language, and that means by controlling language, they are eliminating human thoughts, and that connected with the human DNA, and that means human will not think in certain way in the future. Another thing is party's propaganda can be metaphorically considered as a re-engineering, like they are giving certain kinds of thoughts to the people. Now they are doing a kind of a practice with the human DNA in that way. They are controlling the human mind, and that basically leads to the bioengineering part of the human. Another is a modification of the language. Similarly, a language is connected with the mind, and that basically connected with mind. And if we control the mind of the human, then it leads to the disastrous effect in the time. Another thing is Calibus the group, And this Calibasi group is focuses upon the control of basic human emotions, cognition, and sexuality. They are controlling this. Now, controlling this basic human emotion, they can control human beings. So that also question the very idea of party. Another is a lack of privacy and alienation. This also can be untrustworthy controlling of body. By this, they are controlling the body of human. So basically, that leads to the question of how will define the humanity. On the other hand, this molecular bondage and human re-encoding, new mode of operation, and this leads to the question that how will define the humanity in the case of surveillance and parties propaganda. Another example is Blade Runner movie of 1982, which is a central example of that. And if we talk about the central conflict in the Blade Runner, then it is about the making of replicants, which is actually made by the human body's different parts, and it is not a human. So they are replicants, but not humans. And similarly, they have emotions, feelings like a human. So that raises the question that how will we define the humanity in that case? And it blurs the lines between what is machine and what is human. And this also leads to the ethical question that should replicants have rights? Is their lifespan a form of a slavery? Like they had only 7 to 8 years of a lifespan, and within that they will die. And now the basic central question in the movie is that they want to live more, and that is why they are protesting against their maker. So is there a question, ethical question raises that should there is a space for replicants in the society? So, and another thing in the movie is that the black market of organs. So the people in this Blade Runner society, they are doing the black marketing of human eyes, human mind, human body. They are doing black market. Now this also raises the question that how we will make replicants and humans in future as well. Another stark example is Ex Machina movie. Basically, this movie is centered upon the robot, artificial intelligence, reflected in this image, named Eva. It is made by the Nathan. He's its creator. He's a very smart guy, and he's preparing Eva as a part of his research that should human have a consciousness. So he gave the emotions, feelings, even sexuality to the Eva. So if the Eva comes in front of us as a human, then we are not able to disparate that she is a girl or an artificial intelligence. So his basic project is that he wants to give the consciousness. Now this leads to the question that if it has a consciousness, then it has emotion. So how will we define the humanity is this with this? And there is a kind of an research. So Nathan, basically creator of Eva, called the Caleb, another human being, and he told him that you have to develop a relationship with the Eva. For I want to know how Eva works in that case. So he manipulated even Caleb for that. So and the thing is that Eva has an emotion. So she is developing relationship with Caleb and manipulating Caleb, and she tried to betray him for going outside of his house. So she is captured in his house, but she goes away, putting Caleb in the house, in jail, and she went up. So now this leads. She has emotion. She is the girl like a figure, but she is going away without thinking about the Caleb, who helps her to escape from that. So now this leads to the question that if we give the consciousness to the artificial intelligence, then how far it will be dangerous to humans? Like they are not taking care of humans in that case. Third, very recent film based upon is The Creator, which is a sci-fi thriller, and it is a kind of a progressive movie as compared to other examples. So there is an AI-created US detonates a nuclear bomb, and it is situated in 2050. So there is lots of artificial intelligence named as a simulants, and they are living with humans very in a kind of a friendly atmosphere. And they are made a weapon. and that weapon destroyed the area where simulants were receding. So because they thought that there is a dangerous, because of that they are making humans life in, they put humans life in danger. In that case, the Nirmata is the creator of these simulants, and Nirmata creates the weapon named Alpha O. The figure is reflected in the downstairs, that a photo, that in the Alpha O, which is a she robot, and she named as Alfie in the movie, and she is made as a weapon to destruct the weapon of the humans, which is made for destruct the simulants. So this now weaponization is a kind of a question that if the Alpha O, the weapons the US fears, is likely a bioengineered entity. And alpha, if we look at the, without having the outlook of the Alpha O, like Alfie, if we look at directly to Alfie emotions, then it has similar emotions to human. Now that also leads to the question. The film captures very well coexistence of simulants and humans. They are a part and parcel of their lives, and they are living very happily with the simulants, and even simulants are protecting humans. Still, the organization authority is wants to wipe away the all the crowd of the simulants. So this ethical question of AI, that Alfie has emotional depth, and it challenges the human, that if the protagonist of our movie is too much connected with the Alfie, now it has the emotional depth, and that leads to the question that if simulants have this much of emotions, then how could we coexist together? The danger is bio warfare. The film's central conflict originates from devastating nuclear detonation by an AI, and if the bioengineered weapons falls in a wrong hands, then it could be turned into disaster. But if it falls in a right hand, then there is a coexistence of man and machine. So in conclusion, the bioengineering narratives or biopunk narratives raises the question of complexity and ethical implication of AI in human life. But the progressive side of it is it can create utopia for human while their coexistence, like AI and humans coexistence, and they can tackle the challenges. They can pushing the boundaries of medical, and they work on that field, and they can connect the deeper emotions with human. They can create a community like artificial intelligence and human. And within near future, artificial intelligence is going to be a part of our life as robots, and which is shown in the movie like Ex Machina, and showing in this creator web series movie. So we have to accept the artificial intelligence in that case as a part of our life, and we have a hope in our mind that we will coexist together as a community. So AI becomes a tool for good, shaping a future where humanity and technology can thrive together. Uh, this is my references, and thank you. Now, if you have any question, feel free to ask.
So Dhatri, my question is for you, that how do biopunk narratives challenge the traditional notions of humanity and identity?
Okay. If we talk about humanity and identity, then with the development of AI and with having AI consciousness, that leads to the question that this consciousness has emotions, has kind of feelings of humans, and this traditional view of the AIs is like that. They don't have emotion, they don't work as a human, they don't coexist, they just become a part of human as a machine. So they can do the work of human, but they don't have emotion. Now with the emergence of this artificial intelligence, there is a possibility of having the human emotions. And if we're talking about particularly a biopunk genre, then biopunk genre is raising awareness. However, it showcases the destructive side. So it also create awareness among the humans that we have to always think about the what is the darker side of the AI. We have to keep in mind, and with that things, we have to be progressive in the case of AI and all. So this biopunk, in that way, challenges the traditional role.
So thank you. My question is, how does the emergence of biopunk reflect societal fears and concern about genetic engineering and biotechnology, and as seen through the lens of Orwell's Newspeak in 1984?
So the basically biopunk genre developed in 1980s. So it is very recent in that case. We are looking at the 1984 and Newspeak as a part of biopunk, and it is a kind of one reading. We are doing that. And if we look at about the societal fear that reflects in nowadays, whatever the biopunk narratives are coming, they are focusing upon the social concern that there are in the movies also they are showing that there is a fear that like in Ex Machina, Eva, however, after completing her aim of going out of the house, she is not taking care of Caleb and she is leaving him for being dead. So now that raises the question, and this also show the societal fear that we have to be careful while making this kind of an artificial intelligence, and we have to think about ethical implication in that case, and this concern and fears will always be there. With that, we have to look the progressive side of that, and so yes, with these biopunk narratives, the concerns and the fears is shown as a part of spreading awareness among the people. Thank you.